Hello, everybody.
Good morning, Nancy Jan.
Good morning, Scott.
Happy Sunday, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what's up with my channel here, quick. Okay.
Is it on? I think it's on.
Yeah, it's on.
Very good.
Crazy week. Santos is bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, yeah, gone but not forgotten.
Yeah.
And in some ways not really gone.
Oh, member for Nancy Jean for Vernie.
Hmm?
Is Vernie 444 new member to you?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was on Crone Zone yesterday. And it was like an hour-long ad for me. They said, oh, just come on, tell us everything you do. So I had it all lined up. And I ended up doing a quick little mini version of a 12-month reading. And they saw grid. We showed everything but the garden because the garden have to set it up. And right now I've got my 9 blue candles is where the garden should be, because for those of you who don't know how I do it, I pre-tape the readers I'm going to use to talk about it. And then my tech support has a chance to put it all together so it looks sensible. And I run them as premieres. So I'm taping those right now, and I'm taping 9-month readings. And actually, I got 3 people off being on Crone Zone yesterday. I want to get
Nice.
now's the time to get a 12-month reading if you want it.
Yeah, but Santos. I seen I just
Mm-hmm.
read this morning that HBO is gonna do a movie about Santos. Same guy that produced like Succession and something else.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
Well, good. I really hated to see him go because I like the guy who played him on Saturday Night Live so well.
Well, he's talking about burning it down and spilling tea, so maybe he'll still have a little clip about him.
Well, I tell you, the Republicans got the message. If he didn't go, none of the guys they elected last time for a first term in New York State, the ones that took Democratic seats, none of them were going to have seats. I mean, their numbers must have really been horrendous for them to finally break down and do that. Yes, that's true. Trump admitted it was actually Friday night. He admitted that Mar-a-Lago may have more documents.
He he just admits to more stuff every time he speaks.
Well, if he's shooting himself in the foot, he's gotten every toe. All that's left is the big part.
Good call. Oh my god. 45 is going downhill bad.
Mm-hmm.
There was a picture floating around Twitter that Don Jr. had to help him off a stage here last week or whatever. He could barely walk. Holding
I
him.
believe it. Every time I go anywhere near his energy, I would not ever remote view into his energies. But it every time I even just sort of think about it, I get a headache. Something's wrong.
He's going away. He's done.
Mm-hmm.
I have no fears about that one.
Well, I just got the sports report for Dallas. The Dallas Stars won a hockey game, and you'll appreciate this, Scott. 8-1. That's not a hockey game. That's a baseball game.
For some reason, my screen is a little slow touching.
Oh, okay. Who you trying to get?
Well, it just, I don't know why it's delayed.
You had some good questions early. Okay.
Yeah, I started a bunch, but Midas just showed where he wasn't using a teleprompter.
That he will be a threat when he just talks off the cuff.
Well, it's always the same thing. So he's got that what do you call it? Deer stare memory. It's a
Lizard
repeat.
brain.
Okay. And thanks, Dorothy. Okay. Oh, where do we want to start?
Up near the top, we had.
I'm gonna do Hunter.
Yeah.
Johnson's a bad man. The speaker.
Yeah, even in a world of bad men, he's even worse.
Okay. I guess the question would be, is there actually going to be a hearing now?
Mm-hmm.
Would there be going in? Because the bluff's been called.
Mm-hmm.
And now Jordan and whatever heck, I can't remember his name there now.
Comer.
Yeah, Comer. Thank you.
God, I'll be so happy when I can push all these names out of my brain and not have to remember them again.
Be nice if they go bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired of the lies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think a hearing is actually going to happen.
No, that's what I got. A hearing's not going to happen. Although Lady Justice wanted to be heard. The nasty old Kings of Swords are upside down and they're all kind of grumpy. They're not going to have a meeting. This is not people getting along. They're going to push it along and they're going to try to ditch it like they didn't ever say it. That's
What
this. They did not want.
Yeah. What knowledge equips ask about Whitmer? You know what mayor's race that is? Is that in your area?
Whitmer?
Yeah. Whitmire or Whitmire? Do you know who that is? When mayor race. Yeah, it's just gonna be conflicts for them. Because in the end I have, like my 4 wands is like having a hearing, the group.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knight of Swords, Knight of Wands, so they're conflicting energies. So I don't think what happened there. So yeah, someone said Hunter's lawyer has the upper hand. That's what I'm getting.
He's a good lawyer.
Yeah, with this here, the Magician, Strength card, and positive energy here. He played him well. He's good. They're just going to continue the same thing in the GOP. 6 of Cups and the Page of Wands and the government. So I'm thinking this is the GOP. They're just going to play the same tune, spill out lies. Page of Wands is that speaker. They're just gonna spin it like Fox News does and whatnot. I don't see a hearing happening. Oh, in Houston. No, it says Houston, Texas, the mayor's race there.
Okay, that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at it. Kathy Whitmer. Oh, she's been the mayor. Is she running again?
John Whitmer is running against Sheila Jackson Lee for Houston mayor.
Oh, okay. Let me see. I'm gonna get a picture of it.
I guess I did see a brief reporting about Sharon or Sheila Jackson.
No, he looks too much like all the old farts that are in Austin. You got to understand, there are over 2 million registered voters in Houston alone, just the city. And that's not all the adults, because not all the adults are registered. That's how big that place is. So, and there's a lot of energy and money from within the state flowing into there, because the Republicans want so hard. They tried to pass a law to ban them from having a guy who ran their elections. It was only cities over 2 million that the state could run their elections for them, because it was too big for a city to handle. And the reason they made the number 2 million is because at 1.8 million, you hit Dallas. And there's, Harlan Crow and his buddies are up here, so they don't want them stopping it. So, okay, let's see. I'm going to ask if Sheila Jackson Lee's going to win. I'm not going to ask about him. He really does look like every corrupt, bad white guy we've had in the state for the last 40 years. And he's even all bald on top of it.
So for Sheila, I got the 10 of coins, financial success, the moon, and the sun. Those are pretty good cards for victory. For Whitmer, I got Knight of Swords, 8 of Swords, and my Evaluate card, Caution Ahead. So I don't think he's going to win.
I got for her, people questioned her strength, and she doesn't have all the money in the world. But her out cards are, she's got the drive and the people and the energy behind her. She also has, this is her energy. She's got real good leadership energy, and it's going to put an end on the Republican run to try and take over the city. Houston's problem is it's in a swamp, and it's got oil refineries all around it, so its air is terrible.
Oh, really?
But John Whitmer wouldn't do anything about that.
Hi, Pam. Wasn't Houston the town that the GOP wanted to take over?
Yeah.
Their elections and whatnot?
Yeah, that's where they tried to throw out. They tried to ban by a constitutional thing the guy who runs their elections. And it was only good for cities, that's why I said, that had 2 million or more voters. So they wanted to take all that over, and it didn't work. But Houston's the one that, in the middle of the Republicans, swooping in with Trump and everything else, elected 18 black women judges. It's clean sweep.
And that's wondering about college students. Are they gonna be able to stop them?
Okay.
I don't think so. If they're determined enough, they'll get it done. I don't see how they can stop them.
They just get buses and they load them up on buses on their campuses and drive them to the closest polling place. That's
a lot of them were having blue states anyway, polling places on campus.
Well, they used to have them on campus here. No, they're not going to stop students. Students are bright and young and have sharp tongues, and they have a certain level of love and attention that they put onto this. And they're aware these people are trying to help them not be able to make it. But students are clever and good at working together and figuring these things out. So they'll get there. That's 4 yeses. And the one that's reversed, the one that shows up as a no, is what motivates them. They're telling the students, you don't belong here. You can't participate. Don't tell students that. I mean, you'd think if they're my age, they'd know that, because that's what they did to us. And we said, oh, you want to have a war? We'll talk about it.
Yeah, I got the Chariot. That's movement. That's using vehicles. That's getting there anyway. Knight of Coins, being resourceful, and Ace of Wands is teamwork, travel plans. So if they want to vote and get it done for their rights, they will get it done. I'm seeing any kind of silly GOP type of laws or changes will be come down hard with lawsuits or something. Because I'm getting like the law coming with the Queen of Swords. Magician, it ain't right. Six of Swords making it better.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like what they were trying to do in during COVID. Lawsuits came up. They're trying to take away drop boxes and everything, like here in Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
Court struck that down. No, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of thing. Yeah, I think everything's gonna be struck down. Any kind of.
If they could come to universal mail-in ballots, then that really screws the Republicans because they can't target an area where they don't put enough ballot boxes, so people have to wait for hours. Everybody votes kind of as soon as they can get to their mailbox, and that's why they don't want it. Because now they can sit in Dallas. I could draw a map and say, put fewer boxes here, and you're going to have a long line, and it's going to be all minorities. Or the majority minorities.
Someday, it's such a simple system, like in Colorado and a few other states.
Colorado, Oregon, Washington?
Something like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You get your ballot in the mail, anyone that's registered, you want to vote, fill it out properly, mail it back in. Simple, easy peasy.
Well, the Republicans in Texas for years convinced all the people, Abbott was ordered by a very conservative, one of the most conservative appeals courts to take his razor wire and go home.
Move the buoys there, Mr. Abbott.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how they think that's a good idea. We gotta grade that. I'm gonna say banner quick.
What?
Which you told me to read on.
Oh, yeah. Which one of my names are you going to use?
The one you said.
Everybody's saying, what are they talking about?
Come on. Like I said, I don't know why there's a lag in using my
comments
and
the Taliban and minivans. Yep.
So we're talking about the Moms for Liberty woman and the chaos in Florida. Looks like hubby Christian is in big league trouble.
Yeah, Ziegler, her husband.
Yes, Christine and Christian
of the Republican Party.
The wifey, the Taliban wifey, is I forgot her name right now. But yeah, DeSantis appointed her to some board to oversee Disney, something like that. And then she's a school board president or something like that. Yeah,
and it's her group that runs around going all over the country trying to ban books. To protect our children. How do we protect our children from her and a weird husband? I mean, I don't care.
One of those two was the architect of the Don't Say Gay law, too.
Mm-hmm.
These people. You mentioned that too. A-holes and casseroles with casseroles.
Yes. Yeah, a-holes with casseroles and hose with casseroles. That's the other one.
Good Lord. It's funny, but it's sad. These people.
I'm going to see if this is going to lead to their decline, because after they lost all those school board seats across the country, somebody infused like $20 million more into their movement.
Wow. So
there's big money trying to support people to think that these are the moms you should follow. This group, the way they're deteriorating right now, it reminds me of a infamous murder in one of the northern suburbs around Dallas, where the woman who ran the Sunday school went and chopped up the minister's wife, or the minister's wife chopped up the woman that ran the. Anyway, the whole thing was that the husband was having an affair with one of them. So. It's going to stop them. It's taking away some of their power, but it was sort of a shaky proposition in the first place. And they also have the sun and the moon together, but reversed. And they were just getting their power back with that influx of money and starting to focus on their things. Now it shows that their walls were not well built to protect them. And I think the lady who's suing the crap out of him is going to win.
I think it's assault. What I read, it was criminal.
I know. I know.
Did you see she's suing too?
Yeah.
Okay. My end cards don't look good for it going away as a whole, because like any, I'm kind of looking at the current energy, not a future. I just thought about this group. So I got a King of Cups, Ace of Swords, Knight of Cups. So there is backing. I guess it's kind of like these other groups, even like Alex Jones, he's still speaking and stuff and that kind of stuff. So there is money inflection problems here with so I have the Ace of Coins, but it's right next to the Five of Coins. And you did say there was help. So there is a new strategy there with the Page of Swords. They're kind of there's a rethinking going on with strength and courage, the Hermit, my Hermit Fool, and the Ten of Cups. So there's a family there. There's support. So I don't see it going away right now as a group. It's kind of like the GOP. 45% of the people just will not give up the GOP because they think they're Republican. So there is a group, a certain percentage. I mean, it's like what, 10%, whatever. It isn't huge, but it's still a movement. It's not going to go away right away.
Okay, but I think them as the center. I asked, are the outlying chapters going to go away and reform differently? And I got, yes, they're walking away from the battle. They don't want to be part of this. They want to pick a new direction and how to focus on things. They don't have the money and the spokesman to help them get to it, but they're definitely going to break away because they don't want to be connected to this. And that's going to lead to a stalemate because they don't have the national reach. In other words, it's going to be each state's going to break off and do its own thing. And
that makes sense.
They kind of because, people in other parts of the country don't want to follow that crap. And they're going to take 20 million and run.
Stefanik and George Santos. What do you mean about that one, Jeff? I mean, Santos is gone. Stefanik was all in on her. People have short memories. She put out there. She put out there, big endorsement for George Santos. She was all in for him. That's unfortunate with a lot of politics. People don't follow it enough, and people have short memories. That she was like that. It's like I seen I think it was The Good Liars. Those guys. Walter Masterson that goes up to Trump supporters or just random.
Oh yeah.
He was in New York City. He asked a bunch of women, "How do you think Kamala Harris is doing?" A lot of people were initially like, "Oh yeah, it's great," but they weren't informed. but they were happy there was a woman vice president. They couldn't name a policy. They couldn't name anything. So it's not like basically just because they probably voted Democratic because they were happy a woman was a vice president, but they didn't know anything. That looks like a better one. Elise's future. Will New York get the word out on her to change her district's mind on Elise Stefanik's future? Elise Stefanik. These kind of things are hard to tell. You know, in Republican districts, it just feels like it could go either way. You know, it's like a feeling of like, boom, you know, she's going to be not elected again. That is all I get is a feeling it's close. You know, when you're talking the voting of, what does it say? 200,000 people, let's say. It's tough to get an energy of what 200,000 people are going to do in the events. It really depends how hard the messaging gets out on what she's done, and people will believe it.
Well, what I got is she's not going to get reelected. I got she had all the power and she could have done the right thing, but she didn't build a strong. When this card shows up a lot with Republicans, and if it's right side up, it's building a strong thing to protect you. When it's flipped, it's you didn't build it right. She's not going to have the money. She's not going to have the money backers that she wanted. She doesn't really have the strength to do it. And there's just so much pain involved in this. So I almost got a flash that she's not going to run.
Really?
Yeah, let me see. If you don't have the money to run in those kind of races, it's a real disincentive to even try.
I am getting a lot of swords on her. I think people are the Democrats are gonna message hard on her and what she's done. Because I'm getting a 10 of swords along with her coming in as a Queen of Wands and the Page of Wands. Her messaging is crap. You know, the 10 of swords coming in is a really rough one on them. And then I had her support is dying. So Knight of Cups, I had nine of Swords, the anxiety card, tears and frustrations, and the 3 of Swords, deception, frustration. So there's a lot of frustration in her support. I think her reach is going to be dying. So the 2 of Wands, looking for cooperation, some kind of outreach with the 3 of Wands, but it's a 4 of Swords moment. So I don't think her outreach is going to be, there's the 4 of Swords. The outreach is going to be. In the end, I do have the Emperor, Strength, and 6 of Swords. So I got a lot of struggle, but the end shows that she has backing.
Yeah, that he showed up.
Maybe it's the MAGA cult that'll still vote for her.
I see that.
It doesn't look good. It's going to be a rough road.
I can see she really wants to get out of this. She's not feeling good about being there. And her 2 out cards right now are she can't get the team together to make this thing run. And this is also not having people together. So I think she's feeling the pressure, but it ended up being a 3-3 because her in card was again the heart being stabbed by the 3 of Swords. So she's not made her mind up yet.
Let's hope so. Maybe that's Liz Cheney in her book has some goodies on Elise. Oh, that sucks. That's true, Liz. I like Mediasan. They took him off the air.
Right.
Well, it's going to be a month, but changes in January. I liked his no nonsense approach. He said what he's going to say.
He's a very good interviewer, and what freaks me out is every time they do this, they keep Andrea Mitchell, and that's the one I can't figure out. That woman, when I hear her speak, I'm going, is that the truth, or is that big money talking through your husband, telling you get this on the air? But there's weird things happening at MSNBC. They're also going to create some group show, and they already tried that once.
Okay. Liz Cheney's book. I am getting the Audible. I might even purchase the hard copy of that one.
Oh my God.
I might. I listened to last week, cruising around for work. I listened to Mitt Romney's book.
Yeah.
That was interesting man.
Yeah, but he's like the guy from that had a lot to do with exposing Watergate that's still running around, that journalist. He was sitting there talking.
Woodward?
Yes. He was sitting there with Trump.
Yeah.
At the beginning of COVID, and he could have blown the whistle and changed the whole complexion of that. But no, he saved it all to keep notes for his books. And then they hide behind the fact, well, I'm a journalist. No, if you were a journalist, you'd be out there now screaming about what they're doing.
Every single one of them did it.
I know.
Except the good stuff.
On the show you and I talk about all the time, Stephanie Miller, she has a t-shirt shop and people design them and she puts them in there. And she's got one that says, I'm not buying your damn book. For those folks that just can't be truthful.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, this will tell you more about my life than you wanted to know. But I was listening to old radio dramas and I put them on late at night and they just kind of lull me to sleep and I sleep. And it's like Sam Spade and all those guys. Well, Vincent Price used to play Simon Templar at the Saint. And it was one of the shows that was in the early 50s. And I woke up and he was doing the last show. And it was something about people betraying each other and hurting each other and not caring. And he said, in these times, we need to look around and see what's happening to us. And it ends up, I looked up the date, it was during McCarthy. And he did a whole 3-minute spiel on how to be a citizen in the United States, it's not just enough to sit within the borders. You have to vote. You have to choose to serve on juries. You have to take up your civic responsibilities. And he listed out the main ones we have. And he said, if we don't do that, we could lose our country. You need to come and pay attention now to what's happening here. And I thought, wow, we could take that whole little spiel and put it like right today.
Hey, during another brain fart. Who's the other guy that was on the J6 committee? He had a book out. I listened to that one too. The guy from Illinois. He didn't run again.
Oh, Kinzinger.
Kinzinger, yes. Adam Kinzinger. Another interesting guy. He was honest in his book about his life, his mistakes, his drinking. He was a Air Force pilot, and he told about his stories about what he had to do for refueling and whatnot. Really, really interesting.
He's thinking about moving to Texas.
Is he really?
Yeah, he wants to run against a Cornyn.
Didn't hear that.
Well, they said he wanted to run against Cruz, but he can't get here in time. He'd have to be here now.
Well, in his book, he talked about right now, no thoughts of running against anyone. He's got a young family. The crazy caucus and everything. He just wants nothing to do with it. He was asked about running for president someday, and he's like, no.
No.
But he said someday if the timing is right, the right election, he would run again.
Well, they've been saying in the press down here that he's thinking about coming down here and running.
Really? I didn't hear that
Mhm.
one.
It may
But
not
yeah.
be true. It may be fantasies of Texas journalists. They have a lot of them.
I catch him on Twitter sometimes. He's ripping the GOP.
Yeah, he
Okay.
talks to Midas Touch some.
Let's see what Liz Cheney's book is about here. Definitely, my J6 card comes out. 5 of Swords. 5 of Coins. The destruction, the loss of life, the money needed to pay back everything. Then she's doing what's right and what's in her heart. Using her. It's actually coming from a place of love. What happened? The Empress is standing in the power, bringing out the truth, and the Wheel of Fortune. So it's changing her karma. Hoping it's going to. It may reach a few people. So it's all good there for her. Bringing out the truth. All about the Empress energy. Sword of truth and changing your karma. In the end, I think she's going to spill tea on the GOP. The 5 of Wands is the Chaos Caucus. All the, I guess, bad ones, the Freedom Caucus, those kind of things. She's going to spill tea on things that happened within the Chaos Caucus and the Jim Jordan, those kind of things, you know. Bringing it.
I asked it a different way. I asked, she was in leadership meetings. She heard these guys whispering about him going to go do this. And they can all bury their head in the sand and say, oh, we didn't think it could get done. But they still knew it was a possibility. And there was a bunch of them that could have blown the whistle early. And there wouldn't have been a January 6th. And I asked, does she regret keeping her mouth shut when she was in leadership before January 6th? No. No. No.
Oh, good Lord.
No. And no. And what they read is he wasn't ready to cast off the burden of being a Republican. She didn't want to get on the defensive about it. She wanted to try and stay in some sort of good stead with the people she had to work with. She didn't care about other people that might get hurt. And she just didn't take action. So to me, that says, because I thought about it later, Kinzinger wasn't as close in the inner circle, but she was. Matter of fact, when they played some of those tapes where they were talking, some of the phone tapes they had or their phone conferences, you could hear her talking in it. She knew the same shit they knew. And she didn't blow the whistle on it. And to me, that's the problem. I mean, it's not fine. I'm glad she's blowing it up now. I'm glad she's taken off after him. But her silence then fed them. And it has meant that we've had to sit through 4 years of saying, when does justice get served? Justice gets served when people speak at the beginning of the crime. Yeah. So that's my little soapbox for the day, guys.
Whoa. It's like anyone else. Once they're gone, they can blow it up.
Once I've profited. And it's like we've had 2 or 3 DAs in border counties of Texas that were Democrats. Our DAs are politicized here. And they've all switched to Republicans now because they're so upset about the border. And it's not that. Someone's just shown up with a big bag of money. It's like the same. That's exactly what happened to the guy that was mayor of Dallas. Now, that is not a political position, but he hung out around Obama's headquarters the whole of 2008. He was, always in all the Democratic things. Someone showed up with the money. They're pouring so much money around this state to get grassroots officials.
Well, you're right, Kristen. Cheney isn't a good
Kristen likes
person.
my reading. Kristen's sitting at home cheering my reading.
I totally get it, but if it burns down the GOP, go for it.
Oh, yeah. Well, she finally figured it out but you know, I mean, her father also can't leave the country because he's an international war criminal. So, you know, we take our saints where we can find them.
Yeah. But yeah, her dad's a horrible man. But you know, and Adam, that's his goal too, is burn down the crazy. He's Republican.
Well, and Adam,
but
he comes from a hyper-religious background. His whole family, they sent him a certified letter, you're disowned.
Yeah, he talked about that. That's crazy.
I know what that feels like. I sort of live in a family like that, except I got the letter. But, you know, that's fine. You go do you, and I'll do me.
Doesn't that mean Cheney violated her oath of office?
Yep.
Yeah.
If you can prove it. I mean, the other side of all that is if people were saying we're going to do this and we're going to do that and all this crazy shit, and you can sit there and go, there's no way that could happen. I mean, before January 6th, that's what we thought. There's no way that could actually happen.
Yeah. Like I said, a couple days before, I was on a live with Kim from Intuitive View. And we were asked, you know, what's going to happen January 6th? Neither of us seen anything huge. We both said, oh, it looks like there's going to be a protest, a rally, you know, and some skirmishes. Neither of us seen it breaking out like it did. Yeah, I guess it was supposed to happen because we weren't showing that craziness.
Well, Steve Judd, the astrologer from in England, I saw him talk that morning, and he talked about how Mars was moving into Taurus at a certain time. At a certain time, he said, in the east coast of the U.S., it'll be in the early afternoon. And he said, this is very, very strange. The lineup of the planets he didn't like them. And I remember hearing that. And then I was sitting getting ready to do my show that day when the whole thing started, when they walked off the ellipse. And, you know, that's the nature of conspiracies, though. They either move ahead and everything falls right in line and it goes forward, or they don't. And, you know, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, they weren't the first ones, dear. Go read about Reagan and the arms on Iran-Contra arms deals and all of that was being manipulated. And if you want another little name to throw in that, the arms dealer who handled all that was Epstein. So this is not the first time.
That's right, Karen. People can change, but in a way, it's too late. You know, even, you know, Cassidy Hutcherson, she's seen it all too. But what is it? Honestly, what's she gonna do? A bunch of sycophants. All Trump's lawyers knew what was going on. They didn't stop him.
No, I mean, all of what we thought were guardrails are not guardrails, and they won't be guardrails until some of the people actually pay in the court system for what happened.
Yeah, if special counsel doesn't indict these people that were complicit in this, it's a bad day. They all have to burn, like with Watergate. How many?
Yes, if at least that kept it off for almost 50 years. Those 17 that went down.
Right.
Had he gone down, I don't think Trump would have tried this. But.
Oh, good Lord. Karen grew up in the international location of Scientology. Oh, honey. That's scary. That is one scary group.
Yeah.
I remember reading on that with Andrea on Mystery Theater. And I got such bad energy from that group. We both did. It was bad.
I had a friend whose husband was a person who did intake for them. And he said that they'd sit and they'd talk to these people. And the people were wandering and they were looking just like people that are tuning into this channel. But he said they took them through this whole set of things. And then when they could get them to walk across a room and touch the wall without any rational reason to go do that, then they knew they had them. They could lead them anywhere they wanted, including go touch a wall you don't need to touch. Oh, Menendez.
Oh, no.
My gut tells me no because he won before, because they didn't go try him a second time, which they should have done in the first case.
It's pretty much true, Rose. It would have helped a lot more if Nixon wasn't pardoned.
Mm-hmm.
Show accountability. And that OLC memo that you can't indict a sitting president.
That can be overturned. It's just a memo. It's the same thing as Roe v. Wade. You just get the right people in the right room and they say the thing and it changes. Okay. Oh my God.
Menendez.
No, he thought about it. But he still has too much money involved and too much danger. So he's going to hang in there and be the mean man with the thing. And he still hasn't met the people that can convince him to do that. And he is this card, materialism in my deck would be devil in your deck. And he's still too much tied to his OCD behaviors. No, he's not going to step down. No matter how much that wreaks havoc. I think he's not going to run, though. I think they've got two good people running in the primary against him. What'd you get?
He's addicted to power.
Yep.
I got the Emperor, Chariot, and Four of Coins energy on him.
Mm-hmm.
He's addicted to power and money. He's staying in that power in the Emperor. His addiction. He is contemplating with the Hermit.
Mm-hmm.
Six of Wands. He's ready for the fight. 10 of Wands and burdened. So there is an internal struggle going on with that.
I don't think he's going to get nominated.
In the end, I have King of Swords, his prosecutions, Ace of Wands, it's powerful, 8 of Cups walking away. I mean, eventually he's going to have to walk away. But the way this spread came out is saying, no, he's not going to step down. I think this is showing he's going to walk away because of the prosecution.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try again. I'm going to try with my cards here quick with a stepping down. I just asked the scenario, I guess I didn't ask in my mind.
He's got a primary to get passed, and he's got a good guy who's been in the House of Representatives for a while. Kim, I think is his last name. And then also the governors of New Jersey's wife, who's very well liked and very powerful. She's going to go for it. So I don't think he's going to make it up primary.
So I randomly picked 3 cards out of my deck. Him stepping down. I had the Chariot, the Sun, and a Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Those 3 cards don't say him stepping down.
He doesn't have to step. He doesn't have
Tower,
to step down.
Yeah, he's still standing in his power, even though everything comes to light about him. It's emotionally terrible, but it doesn't show, walking away here, or it's just an emotional crash. But he's gonna stick it out and use it as leverage. Whatever. What else? It doesn't feel like. I mean, all those scenarios are there, and the pressures. it just feels like he's going to be a stubborn butthead and stick it out. He thinks he's that good.
Well, the other thing is if he resigns, it's like a confession, and that puts him in a worse case in the courts. So he's just going to hang in there as long as it gives him any leverage at all. Rose Blue, no, vouchers did not pass in the Texas special session. It was the only thing that Abbott wanted that didn't, so he refused to sign the bill. I didn't get my way, so I'm going to sit in my wheelchair and have a fit.
No, I missed that. Cash Peters' energy shows the governor's wife winning.
Yeah,
I did see that, but I didn't take it in. Yeah, I think he showed Kim had more darkness and levels.
Kim just doesn't have Kim's a great guy, but he doesn't have the energy of the party. I mean, if her husband's the governor of that state, they got their fingers on all the levers of power within their party.
Yeah, and
that's just something you don't want to run against, guys, because I've tried. I've run the race that no one else would pick and do, and watch a lovely man get squished by a machine.
So she must have came out saying she's running a little bit later.
Yes, right after he did.
After
she
he did, yeah.
In the last couple weeks.
Yeah, he had great energy at first, and all of a sudden she put her hat in, and all of a sudden it's like, there goes the bubble, right?
I don't know when they're
Hi, Ginni. Welcome.
Who's visiting us now?
Sun Psychic Gene stopped in.
Oh, okay.
Elon blames Abbott. Felon. I call him Felon Fusk. He's such a jerk. He is no. He is no genius.
I saw someone that did him.
Is his goal a tax write-off? Let's look at that. Is that will he get a bailout or anything for Twitter? Or what?
For X or whatever he calls it today? No, the money. I don't know why people didn't see this. The money behind stopping Twitter wasn't in this country. The money behind stopping Twitter was Saudi Arabia, because that was the way their young people could talk to each other around the government. So by destroying Twitter, they were going to destroy, and so they have other programs. But when I was talking to my tech savvy young child who deals in all this stuff, she kept sitting there looking at me like, don't you understand? It's all these other countries that want Twitter gone because it hurts them, because it was such a huge thing. That's why TikTok is a problem for some places. But Twitter was harder to control, and they wanted it stopped. And Saudi Arabia really wanted it stopped. And one of the people at my youngest wedding is in, I think he finally got out back to Canada where he'd been raised, but he ended up for a while in Saudi Arabia. And he said basically the same thing, that they wanted it stopped. So this is just Elon playing with the other multi-gazillionaires out there. And he's unstable as hell, and I don't understand why the U.S. sends one more contract towards him.
Very true.
It's like your friend marrying a crazy person. Don't marry that crazy person.
I believe you're right here. I think there is other financial backing. King of Coins, the Chariot, and slippery slope, unwise decisions. There's danger ahead. So I think you're very right there. I mean, I did hear about the Saudi Arabia stuff too, but and then I have a complete failure of Twitter going down. Everything that was built before with Twitter, with the 910 cups, then I have a tower, and bad karma, broken, a lot of debt. So it's in a current tower moment. He's burning it down. And as far as a bailout, I don't see it. It's going to be fought. I mean, I have the Ace of Cups, 10 of Coins, and the Knight of Swords. So it starts out like, yeah, there might be, but I think other forces are going to, with the Knight of Swords, are going to be like, no, there's no write-off here for you blowing it up. So, yeah, I think you're right about foreign influence.
Yeah.
But he's a horrible person. He's blowing it up himself. Tesla's getting sued left and right.
We're having 2 giant solar flares hit the planet today and Monday, and maybe they'll target his satellites.
SpaceX can't get a rocket off the Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Twitter go down completely.
Oh, let me see.
Under him.
Okay.
I don't see Twitter going away.
Why don't we ask if the infrastructure of X would be handled better by someone else? Would that work?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll never buy a Tesla. There's so many lawsuits and Tesla's just blowing up themselves. That's our belief, and that Putin's been dead a long time.
Mm-hmm. Then we get into body doubles. It's yes and no. It's never going to go back to its glory, but it's held as a dream by some people, and they'll pick it up and try to polish it up, make it work. And they're going to go at it from the consciousness of let's not make the same mistakes we made before. They're going to be pretty clear thinking about when they do it, but they are going to take, this is a I'm out of here card. They're going to take the best of what Twitter had to offer, but it's going to be in a different form. I mean, I think a lot of the real self-serving crap, they're going to figure out a way to do it without cutting off the free speech. You know, there's a lot of people that just journalists that just made money because they could finally go out and make their own name without working for the man. But that's part of where disinformation comes from, because one of the things newspapers had was editors and people that fact checked. And I was on Twitter one week and I got so insulted. I just said, this is insane. I mean, I got attacked by this crazy woman because I told a story about how being a working mother worked out for me. And she goes, oh, that's a lie. And then she got all these guys that worked with her to bomb my site, and I just cut it off. I never went back on.
Oh, good Lord.
That was the first week. I think it was like it had been open about a month.
I kind of stay in my bubble and I block a lot. There's just nothing out there that you can't get immediate news.
Mm-hmm. Why do you need immediate news? The only time you need immediate news. Okay.
I'm just saying that for the news atmosphere or anything breaking, Twitter's always the first. You know, whether you're reporters, you know, lawyers, there's nothing else out there that has that kind of reach currently.
The only immediate news I want to know is if a missile's coming across from Russia.
Well, true.
I mean, you know, what else do you need to know that won't wait an hour?
But some people like that. Okay. And like you said, it did help a lot of independent journalists, you know, to get their Substacks and lawyers and whatnot. So it's going to be tough. The money losses are huge. I don't think Musk is going to get it back because I have the 5 of Coins along with it.
Mm-hmm.
The current leadership is junk. They're going to try to go back at some point with more truth,
mm-hmm.
but it's kind of an delusion. So 6 of Cups is going back to the way it was, trying to bring more truth. Currently it's stuck with the 8 of Swords. in the current leadership.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to have to sell it or something to make it worthwhile. So it is going to change, I think. But I don't see another app replacing Twitter. I don't see it folding, but new leadership at some point trying to rebrand, but it's going to be tough. Once you burn something down, it's tough to get it back. That 5 of coins there is tough to get back. But Twitter's loved with that Knight of Cups. There is a brand there that's tough to overcome.
Yeah, I know. People who love it, love it. I'm one of those weird people. I don't like TikTok either. I mean, none of them have enough information.
Yeah, I'm more of a watcher. I post a little bit on Twitter once in a while. Comments. I usually just like stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I spend a lot more time blocking trolls or really bad people.
Mm-hmm.
Most are trolls. Just block. But Threads is getting there. It's not a bad site. Another thing about Threads and Twitter and Instagram, you might want to say there's a ton of OnlyFans type stuff. There's a lot of nudity. Women pimping their sites to go watch them.
Oh, okay.
There's awful lot of OnlyFans stuff going around everywhere.
That's another reason. Besides, Scott, why should you and I need a Twitter if we're really psychic?
Good point. You need to know the content if you're going to do a show, though. It doesn't make it very authentic if you don't know what's going on.
If you don't have context to put your visions in?
Right. It's kind of like, I remember one week, oh God, I hate when I forget names. One of our lovely readers in the community from Canada, and Alberta was having their elections. And so she asked what's going to happen. I go, well, I see 2 women.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there's 2 women. One's right, one's left. And I seen the brunette winning. And she goes, oh, good God. She's the right winger. And the right winger won. So you can get that information of, who's going to win but the in-depth of knowing where to go isn't quite as well if you don't really know what's going on. Cold ratings are nice, but I think they're better for personal ratings. Yeah. Kind of thing. Because our human mind reads a question. It's like, what is that? I have no clue. So you immediately go to that ego part. It's like, I have no clue. Instead of just, it was Marina. Thanks, Rose. Yeah, it was Marina.
But you got to realize that when we're reading an individual, the threads and webs and the amount of universal energy we have to go through to understand it is not as great as an international incident or something that's on a broader scale or covers more people. So.
Okay. Oh my gosh, we're already.
I wanted to ask, somebody wants to know about Steve Bannon, my favorite 3-time overdressed person. Is he going to jail?
Oh yeah. Do I have a banner for Bannon? I thought I usually did. He was one of the. Oh, come on. I couldn't. I don't know why this is going so slow.
Maybe the Christmas cruise running StreamYard today.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense why my StreamYard is lagging as far as clicking and starring. Steve Bannon.
And we're going to ask if he's going to jail or just what's going on around him.
Yeah, this whole stuff is ridiculous.
Okay.
You know, Navarro should have been gone too already.
Mhm.
Give him delays. Solar flare? Yeah, that could be.
Yeah,
Solar
maybe they
flares.
are.
I'm on Wi-Fi, so that could be it. Okay. Steve Bannon. I've always seen that man in prison. And plus he's got that court case coming up from the state about stealing money for the ball.
He's not going to jail anytime soon.
Really?
I've got that he's got the rules are working against him. It should have been over, but some female feminine energy, and she's also holding a coin, guys, is stopping it. And he's not going to improve until he does go and face the jail time. Every day he's out, it pumps him up bigger.
Hi, Kim. Welcome. Steve Bannon. What he did before is going to catch up to him. Yeah. He's going to have a tower from what he did before, but there was protection in the past. Proposals, good influence. I think I think he's lying on his podcast because I have some kind of protection, like maybe he talked to the FBI or something, there's a reprieve here. So he was protection, doing the right thing, and then I have the cops, the FBI or whatnot. He does have a failure in the past, big time, from what he did. There's the tower, the Empress, or that feels more like being within the family, the Trump family cult. In the end, there's got to be a cooperation deal of something with the feds. The state he's going to prison, I think, but because I have the strength card, King of Cups, and walking away. There's got to be a cooperation deal or something going on right now. That he did get a pardon federally. That could be too. Eventually, he's going to prison. But there's some kind of protection going on right now, which would mean he's cooperating and getting a little break, which makes no sense. Destroying democracy with his other stuff. And it's totally ridiculous the amount of time the appeals court gave him for appeal. He's going away. There's no way he got that 4-month sentence. He's not, it's cut and dry. He's going to get that 4-month sentence for that.
Yep.
But yeah, it feels like he's not going to go to prison, and then he's going to have that court case for, the build the wall thing state-wise. And then he gets hammered, it feels like. So 3-4 more months, it feels like he's going to be not in prison. Right. He owes us 4 months. It feels like he's going to be doing it all at once.
Well, justice delayed is justice denied. And the further it gets from what you did wrong, the more difficult it is to get people to understand to not do it again. So, I don't know.
It's amazing how these people can just continue to lie and lie, like it's second nature. The only one that isn't a good liar is a Santos. His face cannot hang.
And George DeSantis, George Santos.
He's a rage liar, though.
Yeah, but he's like not in the planet with the rest of us.
He's a good liar. It's like he can I mean, you can look at someone's facial expressions or whatnot to see if they're lying.
Mm-hmm.
DeSantis is easy. You cannot make a straight face, but Santos is like second nature. Lying was second nature.
Mm-hmm.
I know, right, ID? Bannon does look like death warmed over. Okay, let's check on Ginni Thomas.
Oh.
What's her future looking like? Since couples are going, oh, that's right. I think I'll look again. I thought we had a question on. Oh, I must not start it. It was about Menendez. Oh, it was about what's his face testifying. Harlan Crow, I think it was.
Oh no, it was the other one.
Or Leo, yeah.
Leo.
I guess it wasn't Starr.
Leo Leonard. Leo. Guy's got two first names. What can I? It's bad enough we have to learn one name.
Santos and his flawless makeup. Okay.
I can't tell you. I used to have to fill out campaign reports, and I did it for a guy who was running for Congress once. So I know how detailed they are. You have no idea. I mean, yet how much lying went on there. It's just frustrating when you run a race and you try to do it the right way. But that's part of the Republicans tearing apart the election commission and it not working.
Oh, wow.
What's going on with Ginni now? She's happy. She's deluded. Her main card is the 7 delusions. She's got the sun right on top of it. So whatever that woman is impervious to pain. Whatever she sees is right. And she's just dashing forward, not really making any firm plans, but dashing forward. She's not even concerned about what's happening around her dear, sweet Supreme Court husband.
I know, right? This is strange.
She's nuts. That's what, when you read someone who's psychotic, you get their psychosis in your cards.
And I do have a little bit of worry in the past with January 6th and her connections to 45.
But she's had time to stew in her own juice.
Yeah.
She's thinking she's
like
fine.
the juice is gone.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she's in her own delusional world.
Mm-hmm.
Because she did come into the J6 committee,
Mm-hmm.
Give evidence with her connections. So in the past, it is showing some kind of stuff with the J6 and prosecutors and whatnot, but in her connections to 45, Knight of Coins testimony. But then I have luck changing. She's delusional here with Clarence, Hierophant, Clarence, Wheel of Fortune. She thinks
I got a flash.
It's like she believes everything's fine, that they're untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
Knight of Cups, some kind of travel. I wonder if they went overseas. Page of Wands is speaking. I don't know. It's like Clarence. There might have been some travel here where Clarence was speaking somewhere. And their whole protection with the Empress family, it's like she's dug in and there's no worry. I'd ask about her future, not about her.
Ask about Clarence's future. I just got it. That's why she's going to be happy.
Oh, he's going to.
Because they won't have her to use to go after him anymore. Yeah, because he will be off the scene, as we would say. He's going off stage right.
I don't know why the guys would lie to me a couple years ago or a year ago, whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting no deals that special counsel would indict her.
But what I'm getting is there's going to be a lot of sympathy for her for something we can't see. And she's still going to be, this was the same two cards I pulled on her, the sun and her upside down. So, but they're not going to go after it's going to be sort of like trying to go after Mary Todd Lincoln after Lincoln was gone. There's not enough person there left to go after, if you get my drift.
Okay. Come on. Well, I wanted to show that. Ann's daughter was working at Twitter and left after Elon.
And if you know what you're doing, you can go get another job in those fields.
So, Clarence. I don't know about the park, but there's going to be some severe illness coming up.
Mm-hmm.
So, change of fortunes. His prosperity goes to a 5 of coins.
Mm-hmm.
So it's usually that's my poor health and ruin and struggles card. And his fate churning and burning. The energy of truth is coming out. I think they will get testimony about him because I have victory. The energy of truth has victory. The 6 of Wands. The energy of truth has victory. And I have the law and new filings and strength of government here. So I think they get testimony. And yeah, we remember when Clarence was near death there in December a couple years ago.
Yeah.
We thought for sure that was the end. It feels very similar.
Well, he could be like Henry Kissinger. He's just too evil to die.
You know, that's the truth. That old saying that God takes the good ones.
Well, now, how do we explain Jimmy Carter?
Both men. Good point. Not them all. Not all of them.
No.
Henry Kissinger, 100. Clarence still kicking. Weird thing. My mother and grandmother both passed at 68. And my father and my brother were the same age when their mothers passed. Kind of weird synchronicity of time.
Yeah, I had a grandmother that lived really close to 100 and one that lived over 100. And my mother probably would have lived to be 100 if it wasn't, they cured the cancer, but the treatment left a side effect that killed her.
Oh.
So I just have to not get nasty things like cancer. And y'all can get to listen to me talk for another 25 years.
Yeah, oh. Wow. Elise has a friend that was in Jonestown. Called for help from the USA. His wife fed the drink to her son and herself. He was laying in a ditch and shot by one of Jones's guards. He survived. Huge guilt for believing Jones. Wow. What a story.
Woo.
There's still about 1,000 survivor families.
Yeah, those ones that headed out in the woods.
Yowzers. It's crazy to be connected.
Yeah, the problem is they were out in the woods and they were living the delusion themselves. The ones we have now would like to take they'd like to take us down with them because it's not just their democracy they're giving away, it's ours. So we have to go fight to keep it.
So sorry about that, Jazzy. Baby sister Debbie taken by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Let's go to Ginny. We looked at Ginny on Star.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. We didn't really look at this yet. The repercussions of Santos. He's probably going to burn it all down too. Oh, and speaking of Santos, we were talking about that, but I mentioned there's this guy and getting a lot of backlash in Tennessee, Andy Ogles.
Oh yeah,
he's another Santos. They're trying to figure out he has no money, he has no checking account.
He's another Mike Johnson. Mike Johnson doesn't have any.
He loaned his campaign $320,000, yet has no money to do it. And his whole facade and background is fake. He embellished. He failed an economics course in college back in the early 2000s. Yet he says he's an economic major or economic person, you know.
He's an economist.
Economist, yes. And all these other said he dealt with international sex trafficking, and no, he didn't do any of that. He embellished everything and is a lie.
He's got kids that he poses on his Christmas cards with AK-47s. I can tell you where the $320,000 came from. Okay. You know, the lobbyists.
I'm getting the word exposure. I think it's just going to get worse. More reporters are going to be digging into these crazy Ogles. Florida's Luna needs to get that taken down too. She's a similar energy. Paulina.
Oh, yeah. She's another one.
Oh, good Lord.
Does expelling Santos hurt them? And it doesn't move them forward. And people keep looking at what the grief Santos caused. And they're not getting a bright future heading towards them. As a matter of fact, people are saying, looking back and saying, that was a bad way to plan things. So the ultimate thing for me is the Republicans are going to have a loss from it, not a win.
So this Johnson, another guy, I can't remember his name. So at the end of the month, a guy's already said he was retiring. And there's floating rumors that Kevin McCarthy may retire before about Christmas time.
Aww.
So they're already getting burned down. Kevin has no spine. He has no heart. He has no power. So he's like, why should I be there?
Kevin had one blinding ambition and he made it.
T. Jones, we got that. They will get the hearing. They will get Leonard Leo in there.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably the worst toss-up cards I've gotten for reading a long time. is basically the saying Santos and everything else of the GOP is going to get burnt down. I have death. I have the 10 of Swords. I have the Knight of Swords. It's going to be bad. The law is coming on them. They're going to be having 10 of Swords moments, the disaster, the failures, the death of the party. I have karma coming at them, indictments, new things coming up with the Page of Swords on the bad side, new news. This is my bad karma card of trash. My paperwork and indictments card. In the end, I have they will be walking away from government as a whole. In the end, Tower, government, 8 of Cups.
Mm-hmm.
And the old saying, it's going to be burnt down
To the ground.
I think all the trash is going to be gone. Eventually, who knows how long, how many years, but that's the future of the party. It's going to have to be rebuilt. I believe it. But we need to get enough Democrats voting to get them out, see the future.
Mm-hmm.
We can't rely on Jack Smith to save us all.
No, we got to quit thinking we're going to have a savior. We are each our individual part of the savior. We each need to investigate candidates, investigate them now, because the primaries are coming up. One of the reasons you get to a voting booth and you go, God, how could I vote for either one of these, is because you didn't take part in putting on when you had a chance to put good people on the ballot, if there are some running in your area. So go look at them.
Yeah, that's another thing. I mean, it's tough to get that information out there.
Go to Ballotpedia. You can go to
I mean,
Ballotpedia. It's got everything.
Like what I mean with the people that are busy in life that do vote but don't really follow the news. That's the problem, getting that information. Young families, young kids, they don't have time to, watch the news and see what candidates, but they feel like it's their honor to vote. Okay. Yeah. We can do this last one here, and then we'll bring on inspiration. Mm-hmm. Marshmallows and hot dogs, Rose. You betcha. Ginny's going to end up in a mental institution. Probably.
I think that's probably true.
She is so delusional. It's like
she's so out there, she doesn't even know she's out there. She doesn't even have her anchor chain got cut a long time ago and her boat's adrift.
That's quite a saying there, Nancy. Yeah, it's like that cult she was in back in the day never left her.
Spring something. They were around. Yeah, they were around when I was reading at psychic fairs, and they always had a big booth, and all these people who'd been. They just kind of glowed. It's like you wondered what they gave them that made them like that, and you knew that that's not attached. The world was, as in essence, even at that point, a much darker, denser place. And these folks were like on the spotlight from hell.
I still believe Jeffries is going to be speaker before next session.
Yep. They keep finding amazing paragons of virtue.
And the guy doing the reporting, again, Ogles is a local reporter, local news in his area. They took it.
That's why we need local news. I actually broke down and started to pay for the electronic version of the Dallas Morning News, which is as close as I get to local news. And just so, especially coming into a campaign year, so I can see, what the words are and what they're saying and, how it goes. What I got for Perry was Pretty much says it all. And I said, okay, what's the death about? Can't go home again. There's no freedom for there. He's so short-sighted. He doesn't even know how much trouble he's in. Normally, the 10 of Cups means for me that things are going well, but I think since all these are reversed, this is awful for him. And he's built no defenses to get past it. So he's just going to try to bluster past it. But what's going to happen to him is big time change. And not good.
Repeat to the universe. Hakeem Jeffries will be speaker. Hakeem Jeffries will be speaker. Thanks, Karen. Ugh. I definitely don't want to watch that documentary, Ann. Yeah, I think Santos too is going to spill some secrets.
Oh yeah, he's going to be like that. Remember that clown that they sent away that ended up having his quote office assistant, who was also his cousin, who's also apparently his lover. That guy, the one that said they had sex and drugs and booze and things at parties.
The Cawthorn.
Yeah.
So we have a disastrous failure here. Some anxieties of what he did for 45, just telling the story in the past. 45, trying to have strength, and so what he did for 45. He's gonna have he's gonna be tossed aside here with the laws coming after him.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the speaker. So it's kind of like, so here's the law with the Queen of Swords feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Broken down, bad karma, tossed aside, and speaking. So it doesn't feel like him speaking. I think it's more his technology they busted. I believe he's going down. I believe he's getting indicted, but these last three cards for an outcome that aren't showing it. So I have King of Cups, King of Wands, and Hermit. So it kind of feels like contemplating what to do, looking in the mirror, maybe talking in the future, but it kind of contradicts what I'm sensing. Because I don't think it matters what he has to say. He's part of that coup.
Mm-hmm.
That's just getting these kings coming out for the good, but he made huge mistakes with my Hermit Fool. My Hermit is kind of like a combined Fool, Hangman, and Hermit. Because he made big mistakes there. I say I put tractors stuck in the mud and he made big mistakes. Look what I did. It feels like he may try to work a deal, but I don't think it's good enough. It's kind of like, sure, you can talk to us, but you're still going to prison for 10 years. That kind of feeling. Or whatever they get, but I sense he's in bigly trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's no way he's getting off easy. Did you ever which card in your deck would be Magician reversed?
It'd be the Magician.
Yeah, it's my Creator.
Mm-hmm.
My card I made Creator is the Magician.
Okay.
I don't read reverse. I use the cards next to it to understand.
Mm-hmm.
I like to keep them straight. That's why I throw more cards than like U5. Yeah, it's the Creator. The Magician, Creator, same thing. I renamed it. So I use more cards, and if there's a bad card in between the other cards of 3, then I relate to what that's supposed to be telling me. Yeah, if you want to mess up your cards and flip around and they come out reverse, go for it. It's all your senses. You do you.
Yeah,
All right.
when Jeffrey and I taught tarot, I read reverses, Jeffrey doesn't. So people got to hear interpretations working with decks both ways. I learned to read reverses because I was a 12-year-old kid with a book, right? Oh, what I know. But I've also felt like to not read the cards the way they fall and to deny the reversals is to deny half the vocabulary. But some cards reverse, usually the sun right side up or upside down means the same thing. You know, I mean, it's just not as sunny when it's reversed. But there are some reverses where, you know, the Ten of Swords right side up is much more painful than the Ten of Swords reversed because that means it's really over and done with. You just haven't let
Sure.
go of the image.
Yeah, you learn your lesson if it's reversed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Time to move on.
Okay, how do I
We're
do
going
this?
to pull a card.
Yeah.
And not for Scott Perry. For the collective.
Yeah, collective time. We're done with Perry.
Mm-hmm.
You would.
Okay, I pulled two cards. They're from Radley Valentine's Archangel Power Tarot. And I got and they're both nines, and I didn't mean to pull. They just flipped out that way. Got Nine of Gabriel and Nine of Michael. And the Nine of Gabriel is the Nine of Wands. And it says, stay determined and move forward. Be prepared for any possibility. And you see the little guy stand there, and he's got the Archangel Gabriel standing behind him, egging him on. And then the Nine of Michael is the Nine of Swords. And that's that perfectly wonderful card where the woman has insomnia and she's sitting under 9 swords and says, your worry is unnecessary. You focus your thoughts on the outcome and desire release feelings of regret, guilt, and worry. So when you put those two together, it's like plant new seeds. Quit worrying about what already happened. Let it go and move ahead. That's the message for today. What'd you get?
I grabbed the fairies deck this time.
Okay, that's a good deck.
It's kind of a weird 3 that dropped together, but it feels like believing in yourself. So I got the King of Cups, the 8 of Swords, 10 of Coins. I get the sense of financial responsibility, not going overboard, believing in yourself and the self-confidence. But you need to have good stability and love in your heart and maturity from above with that King of Cups. Because it's like failures happen when we don't have love, you know, and security. So no matter what happens, always have that persistence of yourself, you know, lack of self-confidence, the lack of strength, the lack of love. You won't have that family traditions and security with that 10 of Coins. It feels like good family helps a lot, and good support, and keep your good support system, and always believe in self.
Right.
Okay.
We have one more question in the chat. I'll answer. What crystal helps deal with politics? One that's big enough and heavy enough that if you throw it at someone, it will hurt them. If that's not the crystal you're looking for, then yeah.
Is that one big enough? That'll take it out.
That's selenite. Well, that's a crystal. It's self-clearing too. That's a good one to keep around you, and you can put your other crystals on it. But it depends on how you're thinking about politics. If politics separates you from feeling grounded, then you need to find a dark stone, obsidian or tourmaline. If you want something to open up your higher powers and connect your higher powers in to that kind of thinking, find a lovely piece of quartz. And then cleanse it frequently if you're running politics.
Yeah, the general white usually works really well.
Mm-hmm. Quartz will work for anything. You want amethyst and all those other crystals you really like. They're just quartz with other minerals in them. So they are.
Rose is
quartz.
Pray for Rose. December 19th, she's going to Florida.
Oh, good luck.
What for an airplane? Not Spirit. Everyone rips on Spirit Airlines. Hey, Dorothy, thanks for coming and checking us out.
Yep.
Blessings, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. Next Sunday, might want to try to do it earlier if it's okay with you.
That's fine. I'm listening. Not 6:30 in the morning, but
like 9 a.m. our time.
But yeah, we need to give these people a time. They're getting tired of trying to figure out where we're going to be.
It's generally going to be around this time.
If you're subscribed, then you will get our notices. Even if Scott doesn't tell me we're starting till 10, till after I posted 9:30, but that's okay. So then I posted 10 as soon as I knew.
Yeah, I got family stuff next weekend. I want to try to get done earlier, so we're trying 9 a.m. next week on.
9's fine. I'm up then. So.
Cool. Blessings all. Thanks for hanging out with us.
Okay. We'll see you
Have
later.
A great one.
Bye.